Ooh, give me that money. Hello and welcome to Retro Game Connect. I'm Dan Mastriani.
And I'm Ian Butterfield.
And today we're playing a 3D remake of a Sega classic. So we're pulling out the Sega Classics Collection on PS2 so we can play Fantasy Zone. So this is fairly straightforward remake, though it does add some extra modes. But we'll take a look at that once we start up the game.
Woo!
Ooh, nice. We got some
classics.
got some Outrun music. Wait, is that actually in the game? Let's see. Let's find it. Here it is. That was easy.
Welcome to Fantasy Zone.
Yes, which is what they originally wanted to call Space Harrier, but apparently their bosses were like, "Nah, we're gonna. This game looks more like Fantasy Zone," so they decided to give that name to this game. And Yu Suzuki was like, "Oh,
Dude.
yeah." It's like kind of like, what's up with that? And his name reassigned. So this is part of the 3D Ages line. For a little while, like early on, Sega had like something they were doing called 3D Ages, where they were, So as you can see, this is Volume 3 of Sega Ages 2500. They started off by doing.
Oh wow! I just actually hear. Is there just no music playing?
Yeah, there's just no music. It's not a.
Suppose that makes sense then.
USA, because that's where we are, baby. So the problem with this is a lot of the 3D remakes that they decided to do instead of like straight ports were not great. So they eventually gave up on it, and that's when they started working with M2 to do like really nice emulated versions of their games. But we got this challenge mode, which lets you unlock additional stuff for normal. But we'll go ahead and do normal first.
Apparently, they began when a new team was rotated in to reboot a shooter project that wasn't coming together.
Yeah, so they had a
past radius.
They had
this
a project
is a 3D
with
remake.
Yes.
This is a 2.5D remake.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to put it that way. It is, I say 3D, and I mean that's using 3D graphics, you know?
Yeah.
So I gotta collect coins. So you're basically, I should mention the point of the game here is, I need to destroy these spaces here.
That's just ridiculous.
Oh no. Awkward. Ooh, money. Give me that. Give me that money. I got the radar on the bottom that shows me where the space. So obviously there are tons of enemies, but killing the enemies doesn't help me. What I have to do is destroy these bases here, and once you've destroyed them all, you fight the boss.
Okay.
Oh, that was awkward. I really need a better weapon here. I gotta see if I can find the shop.
I guess instead of just making a standard old shooter, they wanted to make something bright and colorful and cheerful. Which, I mean, is interesting for a shooter.
Yeah, so, you know, basically they got the director was like, at the time, like, you know, Gradius had been a big hit. Oh, come on. That one wasn't my fault. I'm pretty sure that I did not actually touch that guy. I think it's a funky hitbox right there. There he goes. Thank you. So here's part of your strategy. None of these things last forever, but they can all kind of help you out. Let's do this. This will speed me up a little.
Weirdly, the main theme, part of the theme of the music, right as it starts, reminds me of a song from the TV show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. That's all about convincing herself that she has friends and isn't being a horrible person. I have friends. I definitely have friends. Friends, friendly friends. I have all the friends.
There we go. This is now much easier. So I have a limited time to use it.
A limited time or a limited charge?
Limited time. My ship's definitely snappier, though. Ooh. Dangerous. Yeah, I see what you did there. Whoa.
Apparently they were looking to design the stage first and then design the bosses around that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, I should be able to get to the boss. That was the last. There we go. Last base.
I have friends. I definitely have friends.
I mean, clearly. Oh, okay.
It's
so
just,
now for this, it becomes more of a
song
standard.
That the melody sounds like.
Standard shooter. With
Yeah, the music kind of feels weirdly Doom right now.
Yes. Well, it's funny because I guess it's supposed to be kind of
cousin,
slightly samba inspired.
But also, this is like Wispy Woods' cousin.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, well, it's the first boss, so that's appropriate.
But no, this music, I feel like you change the instruments and it's like you'd hear this in Doom. That's amusing. The final boss is a Star Wars parody. What is it? The Death Star?
You know, you fight your father.
Ah.
Yes, your ship is equal to Opa. There it goes. Oh yeah, so these are new. This bonus stage here is
Stage.
So yeah, here's the 3D part. I got these bonus stages. Oh no, that didn't do anything. Just avoid that, I guess. So I got 30 seconds to collect as many coins as I can. In the original version, you know, they would just be all over the place. Right, here's what's funny, you know, it's like when you're on the ground, you walk.
Get little legs.
Yeah. That is my memory of Fantasy Zone, because I don't even remember exactly what system it was on. Grab some stuff here.
Fantasy Zone.
But I remember being at I can give the wide beam a shot. And yeah, I could definitely use that. Ooh, this is probably a waste, but 1610 bomb. Let's go.
Nice.
I think that's good. All right. I don't want to use. You know, I'm gonna do the twin bomb for now. I'm gonna save the heavy bomb. See if I can save the heavy bomb for the boss. I don't want to use it up. But like I remember being at like Leechmere's at the sometime in like late 80s, early 90s, and and playing this game, and I remember it because of I remember Opal Opal walking along the bottom of the stage. I can't even remember what system it was on. I don't remember if it was the Master System version or if it was the TurboGrafx version.
Apparently, they completed this game in about 8 months, and a lot of this happened in the last month of it.
Yeah, I guess they had to rush because, you know, the original shooter project hadn't been coming together. So I guess a bunch of the production time had already been, you know, used on the on the project that hadn't come together.
Those aren't planets. Those are just
has...
alternate designs for everlasting gobstoppers.
Uh-huh. They're lasting a while. I wish there was a button to fire both of these so I didn't have to hold them both. A lot of enemies. Ooh, give me that money.
Oh, there's the shop.
There is a shop. I am going to... Oh, no. Well, that's awkward. I was about to go into the shop to buy an extra life. Alright. Well, I can put in my initials. I think what we should look at now is I think you have to go into challenge mode, but let me check quick because you can collect coins and use them to buy extra stuff. Let's go into challenge mode here, and we'll see if we can. Yeah, I got nothing. So to actually get the good ending for the game, you have to buy it in the store here. So
Jeez.
You know, since
in order to get the good ending, you have to buy it in the store. How has that not been something that's in an EA game?
Well, there are additional stages that weren't in the arcade game that you can unlock through the challenge mode.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously in this you're getting it with in-game currency. I'm just joking that, like,
yeah,
wow, you can buy the good ending. That
well,
sounds like some EA, Activision, Blizzard. Don't let them hear you say that.
Well, that was awkward.
I can only comment so much on how you're playing because of how glitchy the connection is.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, I got some gold here, so we're gonna take this gold and we're gonna see if we can buy something with it. Because that's the main improvement here. So let's see. Oh, this is all very expensive. Oh no, I can't buy any of it. But yeah, here's one of the extra stages. Apparently I didn't actually keep that money, so do I have to actually clear the stage to...
Possibly.
Yeah, well, you can unlock the ability to continue. So all the weapons in the shop actually get more expensive every time you buy them. But you can here's a cheat that'll let you keep it the same money.
Oh.
Barriers, you can some super powerful weapons.
Spend money to stop inflation. Nice.
Yes. An auto rapid fire. You know, so lots of useful stuff that you can use to modify the game to make it easier for you. Before I quit, I do want to see. I don't think the arcade game is. I'm thinking the arcade game is going to be arcade rules, but I just I'm going to take a quick look and see if that's any different. I don't think it's suddenly going to be in 2D or anything. Yeah, no, okay, so it's just under the arcade rules. Cool. Now we know. So there we go. I could show off more if I were better at the game, but unfortunately, I have not played a lot of Fantasy Zone, so I think it's a good idea to stop here. Well, there we go.
Yeah, that was something.
It's definitely one of the better of the 3D remakes. I've heard their version of Golden Axe, which I'm not even sure is that on there. Their version of Golden Axe, not great. It is on here, which is part of why this didn't review super well. But there are a couple that are actually decent on here, like Outrun is in there, and Fantasy Zone I think is considered one of the best of them. So it does interesting with that bi-directional scrolling. So they had a couple influences. Like so the producer of the game had actually just worked on Flicky, which is another classic Sega arcade game where you play a bird that has to rescue its chicks, and that has that bi-directional scrolling. But it's also influenced by stuff like Defender, like Western games like Defender, and there's a Bruderbund game called Droll, which also had bi-directional scrolling. So I don't know if you've ever played Defender. I mean, I think that would probably be most familiar to anybody who was playing arcade games in the 80s. It's a Williams title. Basically, it is a spaceship shooter, but instead of just, scrolling in one direction like your average spaceship shooter, you can fly back and forth as you like. You have a radar, very similarly to what Fantasy Zone did. And in that game, you actually have to rescue humans from aliens who are trying to kidnap them.
Well, that's fun.
Yes, it's a pretty well guarded game, though it is also super difficult. So Defender is not an easy game, but back in the early 80s when that came out, people were all about high scores and like mastering the complex challenges of the game because they couldn't be too complex as far as the gameplay goes. So it's all about making the skill ceiling as high as possible.
Now we have Dark Souls and Get Good culture, which is why I never played Dark Souls.
I don't know. I tried it. I didn't really get into it. Maybe I'll try it again someday. I don't know.
I like Dark Souls, but with a laser sword.
Yeah, I like the concept, but I don't know. The combat doesn't really like I've watched.
But anyway.
Yeah. Let's not get.
Fantasy Zone. I mean, it looked like a neat little game.
Yeah, I mean, they did try to do something different with all the pastel colors and the bright, cheerful setting. The bosses are like surpass Gradius because Gradius had been a big hit, and so they're like, well, it'd be lame if we just copy Gradius. That's not gonna. Yeah. We can't beat him by trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like here's a new direction.
2 directions.
Like, yeah. They has the same composer as Outrun, so it's got plenty of classic Airworm music. So, I mean, I do like the extra stuff they added in. They added some value to it. It's not just a straight port. It honestly kind of feels like it's going to shake apart at some point, but none of these I think were very big budget. So
probably not.
So yeah, the graphics were a little shaky, but it's not bad. I mean, nowadays you can get like really well emulated versions of Fantasy Zone, so I don't know how worthwhile this is, but like I definitely wouldn't buy a separate Japanese version. But like if you can grab the Sega Classics collection for cheap, some of them aren't bad. I mean, looks like this does have the Virtual Racing remake, which I think was another one of the ones that actually came out pretty well. So some of them are kind of garbage to make the game worse, but some of them are all right. I don't think any of them are actually better than the originals, but again, if you can get the collection cheap,
then yeah,
different. If nothing else, it's a different take on the games. To give you some variety if you play the original arcade versions to death. I mean, the extra stages and the power-ups and stuff you can buy through the challenge mode, I think is a good way to kind of extend the playtime of the game. Give you some more stuff to do.
Oh, absolutely. And if there's anything else of note in the notes, but
I feel like some other stuff, similar stuff has been added to like other ports that are just more like traditional 2D. Like, but other than that, I mean, the Master System port is supposed to be pretty decent. It actually replaces a couple of the bosses because the producer of the game was like, "Yeah, we're not doing that on Master System. It's not happening." But then the people that ported Sunsoft when they ported it to Famicom apparently did manage to get those bosses in there. So he was like,
okay.
but it actually has a really good port on TurboGrafx, which is I remember correctly actually included on the TurboGrafx Mini. So if you manage to get a hold of one of those, which kind of had its supply constraint thanks to the pandemic. But if you manage to get it, hey, that's actually also a good version. It has had multiple Sega Ages releases. There's actually in Japan, there's a Fantasy Zone collection as part of the Sega Ages line, which has like all of the Fantasy Zone games. Plus, there was like a Fantasy Zone 2, which was like a console exclusive. And the crazy people at M2 actually ported it back to the arcade hardware to create like an arcade version of Fantasy Zone 2 that didn't originally exist, which is only in that collection.
Weird.
Yeah, they actually, the president of the company bought like an original arcade, spent as much as he would have spent on a car to buy a copy of the arcade board to create a version that could run the game because they had to like expand the RAM a little more than actually happened in any of the actual arcade games that Sega released on that hardware.
Weird.
So they built the actual hardware that they would need to run the game so they could make sure that they had the arcade perfect version of Fantasy Zone 2 that never previously existed.
Okay.
This is why people do business with M2, because they do stuff like this. They don't have to do.
Yeah.
But like, if you can still get 3DS stuff, if you are watching this in time to still buy things from the 3DS store, hey, the 3D Sega Sega 3D Ages, I don't even remember how they actually put it. But that version of Fantasy Zone, also really great and adds a lot with 3D, if you actually like to play with your 3D slider on. That's something you might want to look into getting while you still can. Yeah, I never managed to get a 3DS, so I totally missed out. But I'm pretty sure it's on Switch, too. I don't have my Switch handy. But like, there's a Sega Ages version on Switch. You can get this game. Maybe you should. I mean, think about it. It's kind of cool.
It is on Switch?
I think so. I don't have mine handy to check. I guess I could go to Nintendo's website, but I don't want to take the time while we were recording. But it's super available. You can totally get a copy. So if this looks like something you'd like to play, don't worry about playing the 3D version. Play one of the 2D versions. It'll probably honestly look a little better. This was, kind of low budget, so there's a whole lot of jaggy.
Is it in a collection or?
I would search for Fantasy Zone. Just search for Zone. That'll be the easiest to type in. But the important thing is there are lots of ways to play it. It's not hard to find.
Sega Ages Fantasy Zone.
Yeah, there you go.
8 monies on the eShop.
There you go. And that'll probably have various enhancements to make it play better on your Switch. Yes, more people should buy more of the Sega Ages games because apparently they didn't sell super well, and that's sad because M2 worked really hard and they're in most cases like the definitive version of that game. So it's sad that they were underappreciated. But anyhow, if you enjoyed me flying from left to right and running into things really easily, that was just that was not great. Make sure you give this episode a like. Even if you got future episodes, which, maybe the hitbox is a little smaller, so it's easier to dodge things. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. I've been Dan Mastriani. You can catch me on Twitter at NewTechCola.
I'm Ian Butterfield. You can find me on Twitter at ENG_Butterfield. You can find the show at Retro Game CNCT, Facebook.com/RetroGameConnect, and RetroGameConnect.tumblr.com. I'm also streaming over on Twitch from time to time at Geek_Lord_42. If you like the games we played, let us know. If there are any games you'd like us to play, drop them in the comments. And if we can get our hands on them, we might just play them, or we might just destroy all their bases bidirectionally.
But most importantly, make sure you join us next time on Retro Game Connect.